Australia's news channel.
Welcome back. Well, as we've been discussing, the Coalition now need to decide whether or not to support Anthony Albanese's version of the Stage 3 tax cuts. And Nationals politician Anne Webster is here to tell us what she thinks needs to happen in the Coalition. Welcome to the program. Now, do you think the Coalition should be supporting Labor's version, even though it's a broken promise?
Look, I think what we need to focus on, Sharri, thank you for having me, is that this is a broken promise and this is Albanese's disaster to fix. The Coalition had a 5-year reform plan for tax, which was bipartisan until last week. And so our move forward, of course, is to have party room meetings and to discuss all of the possibilities in a time where our electorate suffering with cost of living. This is not a solution to offer people in my electorate. The majority will have about a $15 a week bonus from July 1 in their pay packet. That's not cost of living relief. Albanese has literally derailed the train of reform, tax reform, for very little gain, all to win Dunkley election.
So if you're saying that the Albanese government's reform of $15 or $18 a week isn't enough, do you think there needs to be a more generous cost of living package?
I think what we've got to do is acknowledge that real wages have actually fallen around $153 a week, and what has fed into that are things like energy costs, grocery bills, petrol prices. There is a range that has been in the Prime Minister's bailiwick to deal with, and he has not dealt with it. And now the people across Australia, particularly middle and lower income earners, are the ones who are suffering, and he is the one who needs to sort this out. And I don't think that his solution of $15 a week from July 1, it's not going to do anything for anybody until then, is a solution at all.
Even though it's not enough, are you going to argue that the Coalition should back it?
Well, I'll be talking in the party room, of course, presenting the numbers, the stats in my electorate, which I've gathered and have been looking at. I am really concerned that this actual change by the Prime Minister will not bring the kind of relief that people are looking for anyway. So that's a bigger conversation, and that's a different conversation to what we're actually looking at in terms of supporting this change or not. And we've got a big party room, the Coalition party room. The Nats will be discussing first, and the Liberals will be discussing, and then we'll come together and we will reach a position, and we'll be bringing that, obviously, to the Australian people.
And what's your personal view?
Well, my personal view is I am incredibly sympathetic to people who are doing it tough. I am deeply concerned that this particular measure is not going to meet the needs, and I'm very concerned that the Prime Minister has done very little to deal with the driving factors that have led to this disaster.
I mean, the other proposition is that if the Coalition doesn't support Labor, doesn't pass this legislation, Labor will start negotiations with the Greens. And, you know, who knows how the package will look at the end of that.
Well, absolutely, but it is completely and utterly on the Prime Minister's head and on the Labor government for bringing Australia to its knees in the way that it has.
All right, Anne Webster, Nationals MP. Thank